going to start exercise 3.4. So the first question is, state whether true or false. Some sentences are given here which are true or false, we have to clarify. So the first one is, all rectangle are square. All rectangle are square. It is false, because square are rectangle, but all rectangle are not a square. Why all the square are rectangle? Because a square has 4 sides and opposite sides are equal like rectangle, but rectangle do not have all the sides equal like square. So square is equal to rectangle, but rectangle is not equal to square. So the second one is, all rhombuses are parallelogram. It's true, because opposite sides are equal and parallel. In parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, and in rhombus also opposite sides are equal. That's why a rhombus is equal to parallelogram. Third one is, all square are rhombus and also rectangle. True, because rhombus have all sides equal and parallel like square. A rhombus have all the sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. So a rhombus is as similar as a square, and rhombus is equal to rectangle also, because rhombus have all the sides are equal and parallel. So in rectangle opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so in this way rectangle can be equal to a rhombus can be equal to a rectangle. And one more thing is there, rectangle have 90 degree in each angle and rhombus also have 90 degree. So that's way, in this way rhombus is equal to a rectangle. Fourth one is, all square are parallelogram. It's false, because all square are parallelogram as opposite sides are equal and parallel. It is not necessary that parallelogram have all the sides are equal, but in the square it is necessary all the sides are equal and each have 90 degrees. So all the square do not equal to the parallelogram. It is equal to the parallelogram when its opposite sides are equal and parallel as well. So the next one is, all kites are rhombus. It's false, because a kite do not have all the sides of same length as a rhombus. A rhombus have all the sides are equal, but kite do not have. That's why it is false. Next one, all rhombuses are kite. True, because a rhombus also has 2 distinct consecutive pair of sides and equal length. In a rhombus all the sides are equal, that means just consecutive sides also will be equal. So in kite the distinct point are equal, distinct consecutive pairs of sides are equal. So in rhombus all the sides are equal, that means consecutive sides also will be equal. In this way a rhombus is equal to kite. The next one is 7th number, all parallelogram are trapezium. It's true, because all parallelogram have a pair of parallel side. This is a parallelogram and which have parallel sides. Okay, and in trapezium have only one pair of parallel side. That means a parallelogram have 2 pair of parallel side, and in a trapezium only 1 pair of parallel side. That means a parallelogram can be called a trapezium as well. And the last of question number first is, all square are trapezium. It's true, all square are trapezium. Same theory is there. Square has opposite parallel side 2 pair, okay, and trapezium have only 1 pair of parallel side. That means square have 2 pair of parallel side, so square can be called a trapezium. Next question, is question number 2, where we have to identify all the quadrilaterals that have, first condition is 4 sides of the equal length. What is the name of the quadrilateral which have the equal 4 sides? So the name of the quadrilateral is rhombus and square. These two quadrilateral have the same measurement of all sides. The next one is 4 right angle. In which quadrilateral we have 4 right angle? So the answer is square and rectangle. As you know the figure of the square and the rectangle, all the angles of a square and rectangle is equal to the 90 degree. So the next question is, explain how a square is a quadrilateral. We have to explain how a square can be called as a quadrilateral in the first condition. So a square is a quadrilateral because it have 4 sides. As we know that 3 side is equal to triangle, so 4 side is equal to quadrilateral. So a square have 4 sides, that's why it is called a quadrilateral. The next one is how a square is a parallelogram. As we know that the parallelogram have opposite sides parallel and equal, and similarly in a square opposite sides are parallel and equal. So that's why a square can be called a parallelogram, because opposite sides are parallel and equal. Third one is how a square is a rhombus. How a square is a rhombus? Because all sides are equal. In a rhombus and a square, all the sides are equal to each other. That's why a square can be called a rhombus. Question number 4, how a square is called a rectangle. Now we have to tell that how a square is equal to a rectangle, because all the interior angle is equal to the 90 degree. In square and in rectangle also all the angles are equal to the 90 degree. And one more condition is there, square have all opposite sides parallel, and rectangle also have opposite sides parallel. That's why a square can be called a rectangle. So that's all the question number 3. Next question is question number 4. Name the quadrilateral whose diagonal is bisect each other, are perpendicular, bisector of each other, are equal. So there are 3 conditions, and in each condition we have to tell the name of the particular quadrilateral who fulfills the condition of the particular question. So first one is a quadrilateral bisect each other. So what is the name of that quadrilateral whose diagonals are bisect each other? Here I wrote some figures are there: square, rhombus, rectangle and a parallelogram. All the diagram have diagonals inside it and intersecting to each other. So the first answer is parallelogram, square, rectangle and rhombus. All the quadrilateral have diagonals who bisect to each other. And the second one is are perpendicular bisector of each other. Perpendicular bisector, that means the diagonal who intersect to each other at a 90 degree. So rhombus and square have the diagonal who intersect to each other at 90 degree. Rhombus and square, all the angles are of 90 degree here in rhombus and in rectangle. So the diagonals are intersecting to each other in a rhombus and square at a 90 degree. That means both figure have the perpendicular bisector. Third one is are equal, whose diagonals are equal. What is the name of the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal? Square and rectangle. Square and rectangle has the equal diagonals. Now the question number 5 is that explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. So convex means the angle which is formed inside of the figure. Okay, so as we can see here, in a rectangle there are 2 diagonals both lying in the interior of the rectangle. Both diagonals are inside of the diagram or figure we can say, hence it is a convex quadrilateral. All the angles which is formed here, this one, this one, this one and this one, all the angles which is formed are inside of the diagram or figure, and both diagonals are intersecting to each other at the midpoint, which is inside of the rectangle. So that means a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. So that's all the solution of the question number 5. Question number 6 is, ABC is a right angle triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A, B and C. The dotted lines are drawn additional to help you. So there is a diagram which is given here in the question, and it is telling that ABC, triangle ABC is a right angle triangle. That means this is equal to the 90 degree, and the opposite side of the right angle, O is the midpoint. O is the midpoint of opposite side of the right angle. We have to find that why it is equidistant. That means the distance from A to O and O to C and O to B is equal to each other. So let's start the solution. Firstly, this is triangle is given in the question, so we have to make a rectangle like that. We have to stretch a line. We have to draw a line segment which as it is equal as it is parallel to this line segment, which is BC. So AD will be parallel to BC, and similarly we have to draw a line segment DC which is parallel to AB. So draw a line AD and DC such that AD is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to DC. We know that this is a rectangle, so opposite sides are equal in length and parallel also. Okay, and all the angles will be equal to the 90 degree. So in a rectangle, as we know that the diagonals, this is the diagonal of the rectangle AC and BD. We know that the diagonals are bisecting to each other at the midpoint, and from the midpoint all the sides from midpoint to the vertex is equal. So that means AO will be equal to OC and BO will be equal to OD. Similarly, it is written here AO is equal to OC is equal to BO and is equal to OD. All the line segment starting from the midpoint to the vertex are equal in the length. That means O is a equidistance from ABCD. The distance from the distance of O, the midpoint O, is equal from all the points which is ABCD. So that hence we have proved that O is the equidistance from A, B and C. That's all the solution of the question number 6. Now we had finished our chapter 3. Hope you understand all the questions very well, and if you understand then try to solve by yourself also. One time or two times you have to practice it and make your notebook, complete this chapter on your notebook, and by all these parts from 1 to 8, 9. Any doubts is there, if you have, then comment on the comment section and find the solution of the question that on which you have doubts. So that's all for the today. Thank you.